Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another raid Shadow Legends video. So today we are doing a beat the Clanboss guide, and today it's going to be all around debuff extenders. A lot of people have asked me on this topic, when should I use them? How do I use them? Who are the best ones? So that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Let's get into it. So why would you use a debuff extender on the Clanboss? Two reasons really. First one is that you might want to live for longer. How do they do that? Basically, they go in there and they extend things like decrease attack on the Clanboss. If you've got somebody that is not really consistently laying that decrease attack, and you need to make sure that it stays on so you don't die in this fight, a debuff extender will come in and he will just continuously extend that debuff, or try to. You will get those extra turns propping in, and that will give you a bit more protection to the rest of your team. Basically, if decrease attack drops off later stages of Clanboss, your team are dead. Simple as that. So that's number one. Number two is, it's almost a reverse really. So he helps you do more damage. How does he do that? He extends debuffs like poisons, decrease attack, weaken. If you're extending all of those moves, then it's going to tick for longer on the Clanboss, or allow you to do things like Giant Slayer procs or Warcaster procs more often, and provided you're doing those, you're going to do more damage to the Clanboss. So debuff extenders can be a fantastic way to extend the duration of your fight and to put more damage out, basically. What we're going to do is we're going to go into some of the champions in this game that are good at this, and I'll kind of just give you my view, why they're good, where they're good, and then at the end I'll show you a run with some of these in action. So let's start with rares and epics. There is one uncommon that sneaks into here. I wasn't even aware of him actually, but doing this piece of work made me realise who he was. So Tunnel Steward. Let me know, guys, do you use this guy? Is he in part of your teams already? He brings a poison. He's got a good base defense, and he's got the chance to extend 2 debuffs on an ability. So it's not like on an A1, which means he doesn't get an additional chance when he counterattacks. But yeah, basically, he's got a chance to land it once per full rotation of the Clanboss's moves, which is okay for an uncommon. Look, that's pretty decent. Should have explained, actually. The way I've ranked these is I've looked at what's their base defense, how easy are they to keep alive, what other utility will they bring to the game, how often will they cast that extend debuffs in a full rotation of the Clanboss's moves, how often would they cast it if they had a full rotation and you had a counter attacker? And then I've looked at what rank would I give them before they're booked, how easy are they to book, and what rank would I give them once they are booked up, what Clanboss can you hit, and then what score would I give them overall, taking all of those things into account. This is an information share. It's not like these are the only ones that are good, and it's also not like you have to take the final score as the score, because you might say, well, you know what, I've got tons of books, so the book score is irrelevant to me. You might also say, well, I've got a counter attacker, so forget the chance to not counter attack. Yeah, so just kind of use it and use it as you need to. So Tunnel Steward then comes in at 11 points. We've then got another rare, Bombardier. To be fair, he's not really used a huge amount. He's an option. He does bring a poison, and he does extend all debuffs, so that's quite good. But he's got a very small chance to do it. It's a 15% chance on his A1. It would happen 3 times over the full duration of a Clanboss rotation. But yeah, for me, the chance to do it is quite low. But he's half decent. You know, if you've got him and you're struggling for a champion, then he's not bad. Bulwark is like the shining light of the rare category. So he comes in with a massive base defense, 1266 defense. He's up there as one of the top debuff extenders in terms of can you keep him alive. For a rare, that's fantastic stats. He also brings HP burn, the small version of weaken, and a defense aura in all battles. All of that package there is designed for Clanboss. He's got a chance to extend debuffs when he's hit. So basically over a full rotation of the Clanboss's moves, provided you put him as a lead, he will take 3 hits. So he's got 3 times that he's got a chance to extend debuffs by 30%. So each chance has got a 30% chance to extend debuffs. It doesn't improve with a counter attacker because you're not going to be hit more often when you've got a counter attacker. But the rest of the scoring is good. He's definitely S tier before being booked. He's very easy to book being a rare. And he actually doesn't need books in this skill to make it happen. So any books you put into him will improve the other things like the HP burn and the weaken. Books are not needed to extend debuffs on this champion, which is great. So he comes in with a whopping 31 points. It's massive for this category. Let's move on to a couple of epics then. So we've got Flesh Terror coming in. Reasonable base defense. Pretty good, actually. Pretty good base defense. He brings a heal. He brings a buff extension as well, which is pretty solid, actually. You could partner him with somebody like a Sandlashed Survivor, and then all of a sudden you've got two people buffing up your team, extending those buffs. It's pretty solid, especially if you're going with a speed team. He has a 100% chance to extend the debuff, but it will only happen once every 4 turns. So he's much better in a speed comp than he is in a counterattack comp. He does require books, and quite a lot of books. And for me, he probably caps out around Nightmare. So he's come in at 17 points, which is pretty solid. But for me, he's questionable whether I would choose him over just choosing more damage. The only time that I probably would is if I cannot get decreased attack to land and I don't have a Bulwark. Next one on the list then, Jane. Jane is pretty lackluster. I did try and use her when I was doing my challenges against Stu. Didn't really work out for me. She brings a poison, and it's a solid poison as well. She brings a definite chance to extend those debuffs, but it's once every 4 turns. Just doesn't feel quite enough. Similar to Flesh Terror, can go right the way through to Nightmare. Comes in at 14 points, which is decent, but it's not exceptional. I wouldn't put her in my team unless I really needed the two together, poison and debuff extension. So let's go on to legendaries then. Legendaries, I guess, is where we get to the business end of this topic. There's 4 legendaries that have got this skill. I actually didn't even realise Solus had this skill until I started to look at this. I don't have him myself, but we'll get onto him in a second. So Warlord, I do have. I used him for a long, long time. People used to say, as soon as you get a Warlord, the clan boss is just an easy fight. I tell you what, it's not. He's good. He brings a lot of utility, massive shields, debuff block, healing, all of those things, fantastic. His chance to extend debuffs is on his A1, which means it does get better if you've got a counter-attacker in the team. But his natural abilities take over, so he will do his A3 and he will do his A2 before he does his A1, which means that if you throw this onto auto, there's a good chance he will not be extending debuffs a lot. And trust me, 40% chance sounds like it's reasonable, but it misses a lot. It misses 60% of the time. He's still very good. If you get him, use him. He's very strong. He's come in there for me at 32 points. And one of the worst areas for me is that he needs a reasonable amount of books. And he's not very easy to book, so that brought his score down. But he brings a lot of utility. He's very good for Clanboss, but don't expect him just to flip your damage over, straight away, unless you're going to manual. If you manual, then you're probably in for some crazy keys. But if you go auto, he's not going to do what you think he's going to do. Solus, new champion to me in terms of Clanboss. Hadn't really thought about it. 1255 defense, very, very strong defense base. He does have a remove buff, and he does have a bit of a shield that he puts on himself, which are both reasonable but not really worthy of many points. He has got a 100% chance to extend all debuffs, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown again, so similar to what we saw with Flesh Terror and Jane, and that will not improve when you get to a counter-attacker in the team. So unbooked, I'd say he's a C. He's very hard to book, and then even when booked, I'd say he's only a B. He doesn't bring anything else really for this clan boss fight. So for me, he could go right through to Ultra Nightmare in terms of can he sit in the team, but I think there's much better options out there. So for me, he's probably a no. The next two, though, are genuine options. So Septimus has been fixed, so he's going to use his abilities correctly. 991 defense is not bad. He does have an enemy max HP move, which is going to give some good damage. He's got a 30% chance to land his extend all debuffs, and he will land it on every turn that he has a hit. So if he gets a counter attack in the team, he's going to get more hits, therefore he's got more chance to land. He can definitely go up to Nightmare, probably Ultra Nightmare pretty comfortably. 31 points, maybe 32 if I whapped him up to Ultra Nightmare. Solid champion. He doesn't bring any more utility though, so he's just in there for damage and extend debuffs. So would I use him if I'm struggling with decreased attack? Yes, I 100% would. Would I use him just to kick out more damage? Probably not. I'd probably look for a different option. Lastly then is a champion that I'm lucky enough to have. Vizier is out and out, like head and shoulders above his class in this move. He has got a free hit A1, and every hit has got a 50% chance to land extend debuffs. It's bonkers. So basically, in a full rotation of Clanboss moves, he's got 9 hits, each with a 50% chance to extend all debuffs. You put him with a counter attacker, he's got 15 hits. This is booked up, by the way, these stats, but that is so far beyond everybody else in the game. It's actually insane, which is why I've given him this score for that area of 8 points, because it's exceptional. Nobody else is even close to being able to do what he does. And because of that, he becomes a game changer. You could pair him with somebody that puts on the weakest version of a poison, and he will just extend it for the rest of the fight. I finished fights with Vizier, leaving me with like 40 ticks of poison plus. That's how insane he is. His biggest weakness is that where he can lay decreased attack, he can also lay 2 debuffs that you don't want. Heal, immunity, and block buffs. So if you let him do that decreased attack, if you throw him on auto, then he's going to put 2 debuffs out there that you don't want. But he is also a decreased attack champion, so it gives you another kind of avenue to get your decreased attack on, and then he'll just extend it and extend it and extend it. So he is out and out the best champion in this category by a country mile. He's expensive to book. You don't really need to book him. So the 50% there is what I've put is him booked. If you don't book him, he's still got 35% chance with every hit to extend debuffs, and he hits 3 times. So, there's still, you probably don't even need to book him. You'd only be booking him for damage, and, you don't really need to. So for me, he doesn't require books. He's available right through to Ultra Nightmare, 37 points. Fantastic score. So if we look at that in a tier list then, this is an area where the legendaries really do sort of carry their own weight. And it's also an area where it kind of tiers up as you go through the different levels of quality or rarity of champions. Bulwark being the one exception who kind of sits up there with the legendaries. He's like, bring it on. I'm one of you guys. I've got the wrong colour on my shirt. And he comes in and does his job very well. But Vizier, absolutely standout champion. Septimus, Bulwark, and Warlord, all fantastic. Below that, I would probably argue that you probably shouldn't use them, personally. Flesh Tearer, maybe. Flesh Tearer, maybe. If you're struggling with that decreased attack, that's when I would use it. But if decreased attack is pretty solid for you, or you've got another decreased attacker in your ranks, they're probably better than using one of these guys, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick into the game, and we're going to show you a run using a few of the debuff extenders together, and we'll see them in action. Alright, so the first one then, we've got Bulwark here. I'm not putting anyone in special gear for this test, because the test, well, it's not even a test really, I'm showing you how they activate their abilities. So Bulwark's here, his skill is all about his passive, taking a hit, so he's going to go in as my lead. I've just got him in basic gear, nothing crazy. I've got a Vizier already in my ranks, let's get him out of the vault to show you him, and my Warlord is already out. That's cool. So we've got a Vizier who is my debuff extender right now. His debuff extension's on his A1 here. See this? 35% booked up to 50%. So every time he hits, he's got a chance to extend all debuffs. We've got the Warlord who is in the same position. Chance to extend on his A1. 25% unbooked. Goes up to 40% when booked. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we've got 2 more to show you as well here. We've got Jane, who has got her A2, attacks all enemies, 75% chance. When booked up would be 100 to increase duration of buffs. That's on a 5-turn cooldown as a standard. Can book it down to 4. And then we've got ourselves a Flesh Tearer. So Flesh Tearer has got his... Yeah, here we go. Attacks all enemies, decrease the duration of all enemy... Oh, sorry, wrong one. No, it's... Yeah. Increases duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. Again, it's a 5-turn cooldown unless he's booked up. So that doesn't come on that often. But we'll show you all of them in together in a run. Let's just throw it on normal. Let's go on hard. Battle of the Debuffers. So Bulwark would be my lead because he gets debuff extension when he's out the front. We're just going to throw them all in and I'll show you how to activate their abilities. So Warlord in there. Jane's going in. Flesh Tearer's going in. All I'm going to do is just rotate it through 5 turns, not an auto, on manual, so that my Bulwark isn't ascended, so he doesn't have his aura active yet. So I'm going to throw on to start off with the buffs. These are the buffs that Vizier casts: decrease attack, heal reduction, block buffs. So if they go on, which they should do, we've only got 2 of them on. It's quite crazy. So we've got 2 buffs to play with now. So this is how Flesh Tearer would do it. Every 5 turns, you'd use this ability and he would have a chance to extend. See that extend there? Bulwark's only going to do it if he actually takes a hit. So we're just going to put his buff on for now. We've got Warlord will only do it with his A1. So we go in A1 and try and do it. Didn't get a proc. And then Jane, who's not, maybe she's not geared up actually. She will do it on her A2 here on a 5-turn cooldown, 100% if it's booked. So see that? See they're extending. Now watch Vizier. Vizier, so we've got 3, 3, 2. That's been propped up already by Jane and Flesh Tearer. Let's see Vizier in action. Got all of them once. We've got to just wait for this guy. So he does have some other utility, some healing, but ultimately nothing to heal yet. Bulwark's got a weaken on that A1 if it lands. Let's try Warlord again. Got that time. The hit comes in. Bulwark could have extended then, but didn't. Vizier now goes in. A1 again. Extends them again. Still waiting on this guy. Bulwark just going to his A1. Jane, going to be waiting for ages on her. She could poison on that A1 though. Here goes Warlord. Did get it again. So you see how powerful. See how many ticks we've got there. 2 more extensions from Vizier. Still waiting on this guy. Shows you how powerful these 2 legendaries are. Just got an extension there for Bulwark. Nothing there for Warlord. Vizier goes in again. Extends, extends, extends. That is insane from Vizier. That's why he is so strong in this game. Still waiting on Jane. She's not doing much for us. No extension there. Warlord comes in good again with 1, but Vizier comes in with another 1. Flesh Tearer comes in with another 1. So, look, you get the point. Throw it on auto. Everyone now starts doing moves that you probably wouldn't want them to do. So see Warlord's coming in with his shields. Vizier's coming in with some sort of silly attacks. Now he's extending it though twice. And Warlord's gone in with his A3 there. See that? So that's why Vizier is so insanely good compared to everyone else. Because I mean, he just does it. He just does it all the time. Warlord does it pretty decently. These other 3 do a decent job. It's got an extension there from Bulwark, but they're probably not good enough. Bulwark is actually decent. He is, in fairness, he's decent and mine's not fully leveled up. But, you know, when you compare Flesh Tearer, Jane, all of those other guys that I said there that weren't legendaries, none of them come even close. Look at this Vizier. Insane debuff extension. Warlord doesn't even compare, not even close to Vizier in the ability to do that. So look, guys, there's probably not really much else to show. A lot of people wanted to see this. Hopefully it's been helpful. Hopefully you now get a feel for what they can all do. And yeah, hopefully that'll make you or help you make some good decisions for your Clanboss fights. I've been Hell Hades. Check it out.